overload Mythic's Mastery. And now I'm just gaining so much value, so... Hello YouTube, welcome to Fine Day, and today we are going to have a look at Cormela Glamour Thief in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by sticking a big enchantment like Arcane Bombardment or 1000-Year Storm on the field, and then just absolutely popping off. So Cormela Glamour Thief is a 4-mana 2/4 legendary creature vampire rogue with haste and 1 mana tap, and you add 3 mana, and you can only spend that on instant sorceries. And when she dies, you get 1 instant or sorcery from your graveyard back to your hand. So this is basically used as a mana rock. You can use her also to get stuff back from the graveyard actively by having a Phyrexian Tower. But mainly she's there as a mana rock, and she's, you know, not the, like, she's easy to kill, but it's not that beneficial for the opponent because you usually get value out of her, which is pretty great. So, this whole deck is like a Grixis Spellslinger deck, and we have, like, this deck is really built around Arcane Bombardment, and when we cast our first instant sorcery spell each turn, we exile an instant sorcery at random from our graveyard, and then we cast everything that's exiled with Arcane Bombardment. And that goes really well with extra turns, and then if you exile an extra turn under it, you basically just instantly win, right? Because the first time you cast something, you get an extra turn, and then you can just bolt them indefinitely to the face, for example, and win that way. So, to back this all up, I have a bunch of ramp here. We also have a bunch of board wipes, Anger of the Gods, Sweltering Suns, Extinction Events, Yahennis, and so on and so forth. And our protection against blue attacks, we have a lot of hand hate, Agonizing Remorse, Check for Traps, and Duress, Fatal Push, all your usual suspects basically. And we're really light on counter magic in this deck. We're playing the 1 mana interaction here. But yeah, overall this deck is very proactive in its playstyle. That's why we don't play too much at instant speed, and we just want to get to a point where our spells just carry the game single-handedly on their own. And yeah, hopefully we get to do some cool stuff today. If you enjoy the content, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and yeah, let's do this. We are ready to play against Joyra with the Light Captain. And yeah, this hand is definitely keepable. So Joyra is, whenever they cast a historic spell that is mostly going to be artifacts, so historic are artifact, legendaries, and sagas, so mostly artifacts. They draw a card, and then they're trying to just chain mana rocks into more and more and more mana rocks and win the game that way. And then they have the big old Paradox engine lurking around the corner. So we didn't cast a Consider there on turn 1 because I just didn't know what my hand needed here. And now I'm going to cast it. Yeah, like that. Because, like, I assumed that we didn't have a turn 2 play anyways, and I just wanted to get a tiny bit more information. Now we have a choice here to make. I guess I shouldn't have played my land first, I guess. Thirst for Knowledge versus Agonizing Remorse. I want to represent the counterspell here for the Joyra, because I assume they won't just slam that into me potentially representing counter magic here. I'm going to discard Seagate Restoration, and then yeah, don't need these cards, sure. Yep, this is quite interesting. We could just, you know, play our Cormela and then try to do some cool stuff, and also just Agonizing Remorse, see what's up first. I kind of like that. If they have a Phyrexian a Paradox engine, not a Phyrexian engine, in hand, that's pretty good. I think I want to take away their mana Like, I'm not really playing actively into Reverse Rebuke in my deck. So I wanna get rid of something like a Galazeth Prismari or a Tormod's Crypt. It's kind of close. Well, let's just... I think that's going to give them the most amount of mana. Do I want to shape my hand with a Faceless Looting here? Probably. You don't need you, I guess? Yep. I'm going to shock this in. I'm currently representing Washaway, but I assume they won't play around that. At least I wouldn't. Ew. Yep, sure, happens. They're doing this and hoping to try and hit a land drop here, and then cast a commander, which I think is reasonable. Yep, discarding the Thomas Crypt. And they are playing around Washaway, I like that. But maybe they're just trying to represent counter magic for our commander, which I'm fine with. Like, we're really not actively trying to play our commander early. Like, we don't need our commander on the field as badly as they do. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Like, they don't know how a deck is constructed, right? So... for all intents and purposes, we could just... You know... Yeah, now we're going to Salon Division in response. Let's see if we can hit something here. Nothing in here. Do I want to get the final parting? They're going to go into an extra turn. That is so brutal. And I assume... Wait, this is just lethal for them, right? 1, 2, 3... If they kept the... Interesting enough, if they kept the Ornithopter here, I think that would have been basically lethal for them. Thought Monitor. Potentially pick the wrong card of the Salon Division here. I mean, most likely, right? Yeah, I think we are in quite a bit of trouble here. Let's see. Okay, I think I want to lead on this. This is colorless, right? Wait. Blue, black. Try to resolve this. See what it doesn't. Oh, it does. So I can actually cast a Time Warp here, which is pretty interesting. It is actually pretty interesting because I can I get back the Time Warp from the Cormela? I don't believe I can. Right? Yeah, this is going to trigger a response. I have to target to put it on the stack. I think my best bet is here to hope, like, to limit their mana and then target artifacts, draw discard. I'm going to draw discard, I'm going to destroy the Hedron Archive, right? And I'm just going to hope that the next turn is not going to be too bad. Yeah, and I believe they have lethal here. Because now, like, if they didn't discard the Thomas Crypt, they could have done this last turn, but now they can use the Inventor Sphere and sacrifice this. Oh, they missed lethal. I'm quite confused here. So I think they're supposed to crack this for 4 mana, grab Paradox Engine, which is a 5-mana artifact that says whenever they cast a spell, they untap each non-land permanent they control. And then basically every time they cast something, they're untapping their mana rocks like Mind Stone, Hedron Archive, Midnight Clock. and then they just have so much mana that they can just cast everything they have. Would that mana would that have worked for them? So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. This. So this is the tutor for the Inventor Sphere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then there were one off. War of Invention. Sure. If they ever cast a spell here, I can skip to this because with the A-Alrund effectively doubling their draw, don't think there's anything I can do. Let's see, do they have a spell that they can play? I only see River's Rebuke and oh, that's a good sign. Yeah, nothing there. And I can just destroy the Paradox Engine here, funnily enough. Just, you know, not actually going to do a whole lot. Discard Rampage. And cast Time Warp. Extra turn. Yep. And I think I'm supposed to float the mana here. Sacrifice Cormela. Yep. Return back to the command zone, and I'm going to take a Time Warp. Do I have mana for a Time Warp here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I kind of do. Nice. I can just Time Warp. Do that. Yep. Take another extra turn, which is arguably pretty cool. Can shape my hand a little bit with this Faithless Looting as well. Don't need any of you guys. Okay. Solve the equation. Do I have something here? I think I have to. Let me solve and see what I can get first, right? If I can you Hennies? Can also wait. This is even. I want to find a way to destroy A-Alrund and Jorah. If I had a River's Rebuke in the deck, that I would just cast that, you know, basically instantly. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I can just do this. Okay, watch this, guys. Mystic's Mastery. Play you. Overload Mystic's Mastery. And now I'm just gaining so much value, so Time Warp targeting me. Yep, discard you. Going to make you sacrifice an artifact. To Prismari Command, I'm going to destroy artifact. Create a treasure. Destroy artifact. I'm going to Agonizing Remorse you. I'm going to Salandi Vision. Opt. Thirst for Knowledge. I was supposed to put the Seagate Restoration on this deck first. That was my mistake, sorry guys. Yeah, slight inaccuracies here. Yeah. Otherwise I would have drawn way more off of the Seagate Restoration. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Don't need you. Yep. Salandi Vision grabbing a... I can Grim Tutor. Or I think I want the Grim Tutor. I am going to have a bunch of mana next turn anyways. I don't think I want to... I don't think it matters. Like, either they get a turn and kill me, or, you know, they don't get a turn anymore. Pirate's Pillage, going to draw. Solve the equation. And just take more exit turns, I guess. Okay, and I think I can deterministically hide a under the Arcane Bombardment. I think I can hide an exit turn under there, right? Yeah, and they're going to concede to that, or I can just Thousand Year Storm them as well. Yeah. GG. We are ready to play against Kenrith, the Returned King. And turn 2 Azcanta, turn 3 Burgi. This is a very tame hand. Opponent's on the play, so like this is a hand that I would like to keep if I'm on the play, but this is not very reactive and it's sometimes slow. Kenrith, I mean, with Kenrith, you know, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So the two main things here, like you have a creature toolbox deck that tries to generate infinite mana, and then you sink all that mana into Kenrith, right? That's like one way to build them, but the more popular way is definitely, I think, Shrines, but that kind of fell out of favor lately. I think they have other Shrines commanders now that are popular. So I'm not really sure what's going on that side of the field. Anyways, this hand is shaping up really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, depends how much value they get out of that, right? Always a big old depends. So, we play Burgi. Our Anger of the Gods doesn't seem to be too effective anyways, because they have the Dryad, I have the Bird, like, yep. I think I'm fine if that's happening, honestly. Void Red, sure. They're running out of resources here, but Kenrith should restock them pretty soon. You want double black or double red more? It don't think it matters here. I could go Dark Ritual, Cormela, nothing? Yeah, actually nothing. Okay, do I want to foretell this Auror's Epiphany to get 2 birds? They might come in relevant. Yeah, they might be relevant, but I think there's also some advantage in bluffing like a counterspell for this. Yeah, like, sure. Okay, let's see what's going on. 1, 2, 3. I really want to keep bluffing counter magic, honestly. So, Anger of the Gods, I assume. I also want to check for traps. I think I'm gonna. I really don't want to tap out. Maybe they have some other threat that's in hand, right? So my options here are like Dark Ritual, Anger, check for traps, play this tapped to aggressively bluff a counterspell against the Kenrith, but maybe they're just trying to force the counterspell there. Oh, this is a really rough spot. I think I want to bluff counter magic like this, bolting this in, and then playing the Cormela. Honestly, I didn't need to bolt it because, like, they could also think that I have it off the haste activation here. But overall, I'm not really happy with how this goes. Oh yeah. Yeah, that gets exiled. Get hit for 7. That's a lot. Yeah, maybe I should have bolted. Shouldn't have bolted myself there. You don't have too much time here. Okay. Oh, Magma Opus is pretty good. Yeah. Anger of the Gods to the rescue. And if if I check for traps. This wasn't a land. We know that this is not a land. I want to keep the Dark Ritual for the Magma Opus. Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, I can just put a counter on the midnight clock. Sure, those guys are exiled. God damn it, they played it. That's what I didn't want to happen. But sure. Oh, Cling to Dust. How much would this cost? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This draws 2. Oh, I need to. I'm currently thinking if I can deal 4 damage to Kenrith, block it, and because Kenrith can put counters on itself. 1, 2, 3 counters at most. It's 8, yeah. I think I'd rather tap down their team. Yeah. Just do it like this, stalling for the midnight clock activation, basically. What are they targeting? Arcane Signet, sure. If they move to combat, yep, going to do this. Magma Opus. Going to kill the Elysian Caryatid. I'm going to tap these 2 permanents. Yep. I assume they're going to use that mana to draw a card with the Kenrith. Yep, draw a card. Now the Elysian Caryatid, they can basically decide what they want to float here. Okay, oh yes, the Bloodchief's Thirst is pretty good here, honestly. I can set up... I definitely need to kill that. I don't know, I don't have enough black, so I... Hindsight, you know? Yikes. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Cormela. And then next turn... try to do some cool stuff. Oh man. This can be so bad for me. I can just take an extra turn, try to re-roll this, but it's really not that great. If I Wishclaw, what do I want to Wishclaw for? Increasing Vengeance, but like... Then there's also... Maybe I'm supposed to play Cormela. Pass the turn. Then try to stay alive with the Cling to Dust, gaining life if I actually need it. Yeah. If they kill the Cormela here, I just get back Magma Opus, which is pretty great, honestly. Okay, Heliod's Intervention. That kills that. That's fine. I mean, it's kind of not, but no, I pretend it is. If I do no blocks here, they're going to pump they're going to pump all their mana into Kenrith, right? And they think they have lethal here. I'm going to gain the 3 life with the Cling to Dust. I want to make them tap out here, right? And then if they replay Kenrith again, they're going to have a hard time actually doing so. Then we go to 1 apparently. I think that's fine by me. Then we're just going to use this Heliod's Intervention. Draw a card? I think drawing a card here is more valuable actually. Okay. And then we're just going to Blood Chiefs. I think I'm supposed to lead on Faithless Looting actually. Oh. Don't need you, I think. Sacrifice a 2, 3. I think I would have just taken extra turn here, gain a bit of mana with that, because I can't shock in the Steam Vents. Okay, and now we can go ahead and Blood Chief's Thirst the Kenrith. 2, 3. Yeah, totally fine by that. Oh, with that. And then I'm just going to not tap out. In their end step, I'm going to use the Cling to Dust. Cling to Dust here in this deck specifically is really nice, because it allows us to shape our graveyard in a way where, because like Arcane Bombardment exiles random cards from the graveyard. Yeah. We can shape our graveyard in a way we can get the cards we actually want from the grave. So I think we want to draw a card here or gain life. I think just draw. We just need to draw answers. Okay, we are going to. Don't need the Wishclaw. Don't need you. Don't need you, and don't need you. So it's either Magma Opus. Yeah. Magma Opus and Faithless Looting. I think that's the way I have to do this. And I want to draw a Lightning Bolt here. I can. I can also cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can cast a Magma Opus by Cormela, targeting myself with Agonizing Rampage, sacrificing it, getting back a Magma Opus. But I kind of really don't want to let them untap here. I want to get a removal spell for this Lotus Cobra. Yikes. Yikes. Not good. Not good at all. Oh my god. That is very much not great. Sacrifices a creature. Okay. We're just going to not attack. We can't cling again. They have 1 for trample. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if we double block, we're not dead actually. Which is pretty cool. I want to hold full control here, I think. They killed the Cormela. That's pretty good for me, honestly. Yeah, put counter. Sure. Do we get back the Rampage or the Magma Opus? Magma Opus buys us 1 more turn, but at least the Kenrith for future turns on the battlefield. Or the Rampage, you know, kills Kenrith again, and hopefully just get them to a point where we... Oh wow. Okay. They're just doing that. Interesting. So what they're doing here is they're saving the Kenrith with the safekeeping. Oh, I did this in the wrong step. Don't think I could have done anything anyways. Yeah. So now I can't Aggress Rampage them, so I have to get back the Magma Opus. Which is something I thought about anyways. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is disgusting. Yes, please. So we're going to do this. Select any number of targets, 2 permanents to tap, sure. Yup. And increasing vengeance, copying Magma Opus. So 2 targets. Oh, so we can choose. So I should have. I can redistribute the damage, but I can't choose more targets. So I should have sent one to their face with the initial one. Here. Wait, I just. Okay, I almost thought I threw the game there. Yeah, so I should have distributed this a bit differently. But I think we just have lethal here, right? Because we just go... Cast Temporal Sundering, returning you to hand, and then calling out on this. Yep, and now we swing for lethal. Because we get one more extra turn, and that is GG. Wow, what an insane game. Well played, opponent. GG. We are ready to play against Perun, and this shouldn't be a great matchup for us. This is a great hand, however, so let's keep it. I think I'm just going to... Like, I don't know what I'm going to draw, so, like... I think I want to play this as a land eventually anyways, so just play the tap land I won. Not sure what I want to get yet. Snarl, revealing Shockland. And I think I just want to Tainted Illusions here. Discarding... Cling is going to be a redraw effectively right now. Could also just, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and discard the Faithful Suiting. Brawl is something that I'm quite scared of, honestly. Although... we have to get rid of that right now. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I can cling their Strike Adrift from the graveyard, which would prevent them from from playing a turn for Niv. This is pretty threatening as well. A lot of pretty threatening cards here. What I can do, however, is I can just attack it, right? And that should buy me 2 more turns. So the Rowan Scholar of Sparks doesn't ultimate, right? Because the emblem is pretty threatening, right? That's that, and the passive ability is why you play Rowan Scholar of Sparks in these kinds of decks. And you don't really play Will Scholar of Frost too often here. They're trying to hit land drops. If they don't find a land drop here, that would have been anything, but no, can't really do anything about it. If they get down Niv Perun, I'm in so much trouble, it's insane. Okay, let's think about this. Do I want to use Cormela for mana? Do I want to Lightning Bolt the Rowan, effectively getting 1 more mana in the process? I think I want to lead on to consider and consider my options. Okay. Let's just kill it. And I think if I just Faithless Looting here is pretty good for me. Just shaping my hand a bit more and holding up the Cling to Dust. Ooh. So I can cling their Strike Adrift. I don't... Expanse Explosion plus Lightning Bolt allows me to kill the Niv, and the Duress allows me to, like... allows me to clear the way against eventual counter magic. I can just play Duress now. I think it's either one of Duress or Cling, because I'm going to cast one of them and I don't have the time next turn maybe. Keep a land so I can guarantee my land drop next turn. Yep, Duress you. Let's see what you got. Counter spell. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what I wanted to get out of the hand. Can overload Mystic's Mastery next turn, but Like, I'm not sure if I want to do that. If they tap out here and play the Strike and Rich, then I might consider it. Honestly, let's just go for it. Yeah, Mystic's Mastery. Oh, and it resolves. Yes. So, is there any order I have to take this in? No, I don't. Duress you. Cling. Don't want life or card draw. I probably want card draw. Get rid of counterspell. Consider anger, tainted indulgence. Discarding. I don't. So, if this was a traditional control matchup, Search for Azcanta would be pretty valuable. But they are. Like, their commander is so strong against me that I don't think I will have time to flip the Search for Azcanta, especially since I exiled my graveyard. Yeah. Get rid of that Mystic's Mastery, please. I know what that card can do. Yeah, so I can, again, remove their commander here, but it's not going to be pretty. Because in the process I'm going to have them draw 2 cards. Or just 1, honestly. That just seems like a better option. But I don't get... So, I have two ways to do this. Either I'm going to Lightning Bolt, copy that with expansion, and that draws them 2 cards. And then I have the possibility of hitting a land drop of the Expressive Iteration. Or I can Shatter Skull Smashing. But I don't make my land drop if I do that. I think I want to hit my land drop here. So another thing here is I'm going to Lightning Bolt. Then if Miss Trigger goes on the stack, and then I'm going to copy. So they're only actually going to see 1 additional card. And if that card is a counterspell, I mean, all power to them. Although they could still ult you. Yeah, and then the second card, if that's also counterspell, that would be pretty nasty, but I can actually deal with that. They draw 2 off of that. Oh, that's so brutal. Could have led on the Brawl. Oh my god. Yep. They draw 1 additional card here. So brutal. Okay, I don't think I can afford to actually play the Shadow Skull Smashing here. Because I need to kill the Niv again. So they go Niv Mizzet. Or they don't. Good patience by them. Because if they just tapped out completely for Niv Mizzet, then I get to kill it again. But now what they're doing is they're just setting up a turn where they can play Niv Mizzet with counter magic backup again, which is the correct way to play this. Oh, very scary overall. Don't like my position. Cormela, Expressive Iteration, let's see what I get. Dark Ritual, I guess? Yeah, 1 of them into hand. And play you. Really not ecstatic about these draws here. Discard. Sure. Unexpected Windfall, discarding this. I'm going to save the Dark Ritual for a future turn. Assume they're going to counter this. If it's something like a Quench, I can actually pay for it with a Dark Ritual. Wash away. Oh, that's kind of fine for me. So the bad thing is here I basically, I'm completely out of gas, right? But if they just drop Nef Mizzet here, thinking that it survives, it can just, you know, not survive. Oh god. Brawl Storm Conduit.
This ought to be good.
Constantly burns me, and -2 copies, and it's no sorcery. So that's going to be pretty scary. Ooh, Otawara. Do I just value actually hitting my land drop here? Interesting. So I basically immediately lose on the spot if they have an extra turn, because they can -2 Brawl Storm Conduit, get an extra turn, like copy an extra turn. In the first extra turn they play enough Mizzet and untap with the complete, you know, with enough Mizzet on the field. If I Otawara, I'm going to be in the same position eventually anyways, so I bounce this, then I play this, and when we're just in the exact same position where I have to top deck something, which I don't think even resolves, because I assume they have a counterspell foretold there. So I think I always just lose to the extra turn, right?
For every action, there's a reaction, and you are not.
Yeah, that's the A-Alrund Epiphany, yeah. And I think I can't win against that, that's just lethal for them. GG. We are done with games. Hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, and Cormela Glamour Thief is certainly a really cool take on Spellslinger, and usually Spellslinger is in Izzet, and here we get black in addition for this sweet tutors and interaction. It is pretty sad that we didn't get to see Arcane Bombardment in action, but you know, my time is limited and I can record only so many games. Especially if I keep testing the lists over and over, right? Oh well, but on the other hand, you saw what disgusting things Mizzix's Mastery can do in this list. Yeah, totally disgusting. I think the list is overall pretty solid. I would like to have a bit more speed in there, but we just lack the rituals to actually do so. But overall, Cormela, it's not the most flashy commander, but it is solid, and like there are certain lines in this deck that you can only take because of Cormela. Like you saw in one of the games where we kept sacrificing her to Phyrexian Tower to return extra turns, and that was pretty good. If you want to play this deck on a budget, what can you cut? What do you need? And this being a 3-color deck, I highly recommend you guys getting all the lands that fix your mana, so you don't necessarily need Phyrexian Tower and Otawara. One thing to note, if you do not play Phyrexian Tower, I think you would cut the Malakir Rebirth for a basic swamp. So then obviously you want the Arcane Bombardment, you want your tutors to find the bombardment, like if that's your game plan. You want like your finishers, Mizzix's Mastery, right? And you want your extra turns. Those are pretty core to the deck. Something like a Burgi or a Brawl is not really that necessary, because we're not a like pure storm deck where we just play a ton of cards in one turn. Like we play a bunch of cards in one turn, but we just don't play like 10-15 cards in one turn, right? So something like Burgi, Brawl, not super necessary. I think you want the interaction, like Inquisitions, and like just against blue. Lightning Bolt is pretty good in this list because it's cheap interaction, but it's also a win condition if you stick it on the bombardment, so that's pretty good. And the Dark Ritual is also just great acceleration here. If it has a land on the backside, you can usually just replace it with that land, right? Like Shadow Skull can just be a mountain. And I have a bunch of board webs here and interaction, but you can basically replace them with any kind of board web or interaction. I think like you can put a language in instead of Yohanni's expertise. I just like the expertise more because it doesn't kill Cormela. Cormela, and it also, you know, puts a Burgi into plays a Prismari Command from your hand, and so on and so forth. And like, you want some amount of board wipes, you don't need these board wipes. You want some amount of cheap interaction that, you know, interacts with the board directly. Something like, you don't need Baleful Mastery, but you could just play more 2-mana removal. In that case, I mean, it is kind of 2-mana removal, right? I'm playing Midnight Clock. This is basically here for the control matchups. Like, you can play a different rock here. Or just no rock at all. It's your choice. And then at the top end, as you see, like, bringing back a Magma Opus with Cormela is pretty good. But like, again, most of these are replaceable with big things. I think the most important things are just your enchantment win conditions, the Bombardment, something like Thousand Year Storm, and your extra turns. And just play like more draw spells, more interaction. Basically whatever you cut, you can just replace with a similar thing. If you don't have a Wishclaw Talisman, don't bother putting in another tutor. I would just play another draw spell, right? Yeah, this is basically it for the deck. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, throw me a like, and see you in the next one.